She was able to make anything happen.
That's probably one of the easiest questions.
There's just so little that we know, and I would just love to know more about their history.
I'm gonna ask them how fishing is up in heaven,
We're here in this world for a purpose, and just really trying to find my purpose.
It was really hard watching her go through what she went through.
Yeah, I mean, I would say losing my son.
If you could talk to anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? That's the question I'm asking today. Hi, and welcome to Carla Cash Out Loud. I'm Carla, and I travel up and down the East Coast, mainly my home state of Virginia, which is where I am today, asking people questions about real life, getting their real answers, real stories, real emotions, many of them saying those for the first time out loud. Today I'm interviewing a very special group of people. Most of the time when I do street interviews, I'm talking to people who are 40 and up. In fact, most of the time it's people who are in their 50s and 60s. But today I'm talking to people who are in their 20s and 30s because I thought it would be interesting to get the perspective from a younger viewpoint. I'm 55 years old, and most of the people who watch this channel are over 35, and I said, you know, we really make judgments about people who are in their teens, 20s, and 30s. Let's find out what's important to them. So I asked them, going to the city of Richmond, the surrounding area, and then taking a trip south, about an hour south of Richmond to rural Southside Virginia, asking them if there was anyone in the world, dead or alive, that they could talk to, who would it be? Their answers might surprise you. And make sure you watch until the very end when I'm going to tell you my choice of who I would like to talk to out of anybody in the world.
My mom. I wish I could talk to my mom. I miss her so much, honestly. I think, you know, I need her. We need her. She was, you know, my pride and joy, honestly. Of course, if my mom didn't pass, I would say my dad. But my mom made it happen. So I miss just her laugh on first of all, her laugh, her just having an answer for everything. She was able to make anything happen, no matter what it was. Even if I was in the wrong, she would have my back, honestly. I miss her not being able to be around him, her whole being. I just miss her being in the house. I miss her, and everything. Can't even pinpoint at everything that I want, just everything about Helen I miss.
If I could talk to anyone, dead or alive, I think at this point, I'd like to go back and talk to my granddad. And the reason I say that is because I never knew what I was going to be before he died. And the fact that I've come and become a state champion and compete in the world level as an auctioneer, I just think my granddad would absolutely love to have that conversation with me. And I miss the fact that I don't have the opportunity to tell him or my father. I'd like to talk to both of them about the same time. How about that? Well, I just probably tell them all the stories that I've got, all the things that I've found from being in this industry, and I'd probably try to tell them that, you know, is the instincts and what they taught me that instilled some of the confidence that I have today to be able to go out there and do what I do on a level that I do it at. And then I'd ask them how fishing is up in heaven, you know.
That's probably one of the easiest questions. I was very close to my grandfather growing up. I would definitely talk to my grandfather again. Miss him so much. and that is definitely who I'll talk to him. If I could take a picture, I'd probably take a picture of my little girls to let him see his great-granddaughters. My grandmother did get to meet my oldest when she was a baby, but unfortunately my grandmother had dementia, and which is an extremely curious disease in my opinion. So she could see me and knew who I was, but she also thought that my daughter was me as a baby when she saw my daughter with my dad. So I wish that they could both meet the girls, but and I wish she would have had a chance to meet Caroline, but I would definitely talk to him about my girls and where I am now and what I've done since he passed away.
So the first person that comes to my mind is my Uncle Ricky, because he passed very suddenly in 2019, and I miss him dearly. He was actually on the way to come down to visit us in Richmond and was not unfortunately able to make it due to him passing. I miss him so much, and I feel like he sends me signs all the time, and I definitely just wish I would have one other conversation with him, because there's just so much that I want to know and learn more about from him. So I just miss him. So it'd probably be my Uncle Ricky. Yeah.
Probably my dad. Absolutely my dad. He usually had all the answers. So he was a doctor, so he had a lot of stuff that's going on with the world right now. It'd be really nice to hear his opinion on a lot of it, to see what he had to say about it. But mostly just because he had most of the answers. That was a big thing. He always worked. He worked really hard. When he wanted something, he made it happen. And I mean, he never let anything really get in his way.
That one is a hard question, and it's hard to pick just one. And so I'm going to give you just a few. I would love to talk to like my grandma's grandparents or my great-great-grandparents, just to find out more of the history on that side of the family, because we don't know very much. And then I'd also would love to talk to my husband's great-grandparents, his mother's father, because we don't know much from his side of the family that was raised in Greece, and there's just so little that we know, and I would just love to know more about their history so I could keep sharing it on with the kids and they share it with their kids so they know where they came from. There's something to be said for that. Just like what it was like when they first came to America, when they immigrated here, and just what life was like in Greece, and just any wisdom that they have from living back then. Just we see it portrayed in shows and stuff, but you don't really know what it's like until you actually got to talk with the people instead of just like reading the stuff. I feel like there's just something different to get that firsthand experience, and from those that were your family, it makes it even more special, and just the wisdom that you can get from them.
Are you like me? Did you find those answers fascinating? I really expected at least one person to say to me, I'd like to talk to Lady Gaga, or I'd like to talk to Pink, or I'd like to talk to Prince, or, you know, just somebody famous, a famous actor, Austin Butler, somebody like that. But every single person mentioned family. Family. Isn't that universal, that family is important to all of us, no matter the age? How refreshing is that? If you get a second, would you tell me in the comment section down below, if you could talk to anybody, dead or alive, who would it be? For me, it was a tough choice because I have my mother who's passed away. She passed away 2 years ago, and then just a couple of months ago, my husband passed away. 10 years ago, my father passed away, and I would love to talk to them. But if I have to choose, I'm going to say my grandparents, both my maternal and my paternal grandparents. Because on my father's side, his parents were deceased before I was even born, so I never got to meet them. And then on my mother's side, her parents were both very ill. We didn't get to see them very often. It was usually a health crisis when we did see them. They were not in good condition, so there was never a time to sit down and chat and play. And my grandmother died when I was 8, and my grandfather died when I was 9. So I lost them at a very young age, and I would give anything to have a relationship with them. And there's so much I would love to learn from them. What did they think of me? What would they think of me now that I'm 55 years old? Would they be proud of me? What advice would they give me? What was it like for them growing up? What was it like to see the turn of the century? What was it like in the 1800s? What was it like in the early 1900s? What was it like during the Great Depression? I would love to know the answers to those questions. More than anything, I just love to sit and listen to them talk. I don't even have specific questions. Just talk to me and tell me what it's like to be you. Any of them, any of the 4. That would be amazing to me. Who would it be for you? If you could choose anyone to talk to, dead or alive, who would you like to talk to? If you could sit on a bench for 5 minutes and just pick their brain or just listen, who would it be? I'm Carla Cash, and this is Carla Cash Out Loud. Thank you so much for joining me today. It always makes my day so much more special when you keep me company and when you come along on the ride with me. This time we traveled throughout Virginia, and I hope you enjoyed the scenery. That's one thing I love doing, not just bringing you the interviews, but bringing you the scenery as well. And be sure to join us next week. We'll bring you more interviews, more real emotions, real stories from real people, right here on Carla Cash Out Loud. Thanks so much for watching. Love you dearly. Much love. Bye-bye.